Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the New York Giants and the Kansas City Chiefs. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what did the offensive coordinator say right off the top? He's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
Let's spotlight Odell Beckham Jr., who had a 1,000-yard season his first year in the league, despite not playing a full season, and that announced his presence with authority. How about this? The former cover athlete from Madden NFL 16, he's done nothing but pile up 1,000-yard seasons since.
Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. Defensively, here's how they will line it up for Kansas City. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season, but boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 20.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45. Hunt.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They'll run. This is Hunt. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Here we go. Blue 45.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And they better put that ball to the side because with that catch, he's a new single-season receiving yards record holder.
What a fantastic year. And we saw it start early, didn't we, partner? Right out of the gate, we knew he was going to have a tremendous year, but who knew it would culminate in breaking this all-time record?
Here we go. Green 90. Green 90.
They'll toss it to Hunt. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ready. Blue 45. Blue 45.
This is Hunt. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Olivier Vernon brings him down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see what...
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. And now here comes Kansas City. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
On 2nd and goal, the lone man in the backfield is Hunt.
Ready. Green 90. Green 90.
Now Mahomes. The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Green 39. Green 39.
On 3rd down, it's Hunt. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treat it as such.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Armani Watts. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go. Green, 39.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And he'll go down at the 28. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. He's at the 40. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys?
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Ready. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Now Mahomes on the bootleg. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 42. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 41 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme so he doesn't get hit.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Olivier Vernon in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
They'll go screen here to Hunt. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Open man is Samuel, complete. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Going for it all. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
All right, here we go. Boom,
on play action, they'll throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So the Giants now are going to turn it over to their field goal unit. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And that will tie us at 3-3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And in this weather, I know you weren't a quarterback. You were on the defensive side of things, but how hard is it to throw that football?
It can't be easy because you never know how the moisture is going to affect things, and each quarterback handles it differently. Some of them are a little bit better than others. Depends on whether they wear a glove, not wear a glove, how cold is it. You know, all those things go into it. But it goes to everything else. Keeping your footing when you're running routes. Supposedly you have the advantage as a receiver because you know where you're going. But that's not easy as well. Finally, just locating the ball when it finally comes through the snow. Kids love it. Kids love snow. Players, not so much at times. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to let it go deep, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins, and he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had two nice interceptions a week ago. Now two here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be second down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Hurry up, here we go.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking for Shepard deep. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Partner, when you're playing cover two, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
Blue 45. Blue 45. Ace. Ace. Shit. Zing. Zing.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Green 39. Green 39.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, complete. It's Andrews. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 3rd down, that's Hunt, and he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. New York set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. No gain on the play there. Second down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
That's Saquon Barkley. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
All right, here we go.
They'll drop the throw. Working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And the Giants send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10.
Ready, green 90, green 90. Slow.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the 2nd half of Week 17 is underway. This will be taken about the 12. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And they give this time to the tailback. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
toss. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. The Chiefs on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Mahomes going to throw. And got his man complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Chiefs are in for 6. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Leopard! Leopard!
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
And he slips up past the 45. Before being tackled. The score line, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Still first down.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Here's a give to Barkley, and he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. And the Giants send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. On target over the middle to Hill. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route. But he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
Here we go. Green.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go now. Green, 90. Green.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. That's Samuel caught left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Here's Hunt, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a 1st down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect.
We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
Ready. Green 90. Green 90.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. This will be caught at about the 6. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than 1 tackler to the ball. He broke the 1st tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Got to give a lot of credit to the defensive front there. They held their ground, pretty much stoned them on that play, and ended up creating a lost yardage play.
Yeah, drop him from the 1 back to the 2. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Mahomes now on the sneak. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
Pardon me, that was simply an example of getting low, wasn't it?
It was indeed. And for the quarterback, so they get low the line. They did their job. Is the quarterback's job just to find the crease and dive?
Find a crease and just get in there. And ordinarily, you start low yourself, get low behind that offensive line. But sometimes they do such a great job, you can almost fall forward and find the crease for a touchdown.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. New York set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Shepard. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Looking to throw. It's caught. Shepard. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Set. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's Shepard. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Giants able to get this back within a touchdown.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And one thing we do know, they will be a part of the playoffs come January. They've clinched the AFC West right now. You know, when you're in that 3 or 4 slot as they are, you have to host the first round. You'd love to be the 1 or 2, but at least you get to play at home if you're in one of those slots.
Yeah, they're happy to be in the playoffs. And as you noted, the downside is, okay, you didn't get one of the top 2 seeds, so you don't get the bye week. But for them, okay, the next best thing is hosting in the wild card round and then taking it from there. So they'll take that, and I think their fans will celebrate too.
Mahomes now to throw. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. But it looks like the Chiefs are going to get it back.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with 2nd and very long.
Here we go now.
On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by David Anderson. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error. Now,
meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll look to throw here. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Hitchens in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll set up the screen to Barkley, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's got it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. He's back to throw. That's caught at the 2. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Gerald Everett, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way. You've got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
To throw is Mahomes. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Back to throw. Mahomes. He's going to loft one. Deep left side. He's got him in. Complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. Mahomes to throw. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Mahomes. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal.
Here we go. Green, 90.
Now it's Hunt. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Second and goal from the 1.
Ready. Green, 90. Green, 90.
They'll try to run with Hunt. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
A toss play to Hunt. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown. Late in the game, they look like they're in control. But still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
Gostkowski the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And after a rough start, as we take a peek at the numbers, he's going in the right direction now.
So often when you see a game start the way we saw this one start for him, you just wonder if he's got a chance to bring it back at all, and that's exactly what he's done. Love seeing that happen simply because you know a guy has struggled, and now he's found a way to make things better. That's pretty good stuff right there.
The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Shepard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And now he clocks it with 19 seconds remaining. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left. To throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You've got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They will take the knee here, and they will finish this regular season with a victory. Well, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our